So guys, the DLC 3 trailer for Black Ops 3 Descent is here, and we have got the zombies trailer only. So they haven't bothered with multiplayer, they've just gone straight to zombies. Now this obviously map is called GOROD KROVI, which means the City of Blood. Now Nikolai is presenting this trailer, so I'm just going to let him go and show you and talk about the trailer first, and then we'll talk about the trailer ourselves and break things down very, very slowly.
This city has seen more than its share of pain. It has been witness to horrors that would make most souls question the very concept of humanity itself. It has been known by many names, but I know it as Stalingrad, City of Blood. This should do job of killing. We don't need any fire here, Dragon. I do not feel cold.
All right, Dempsey, once more for old time's sake. Hoorah!
So there you have it, guys. That is the trailer for the City of Blood, or GOROD KROVI. Now obviously Nikolai did present that trailer, and it is actually quite good. That is the way that they decided to show this trailer off. Showing it off in Stalingrad, obviously being, you know, Nikolai's map, and Nikolai is presenting what's happening. Now the map looked absolutely mental. Now this is actually probably going to be one of the best zombies maps that is going to be available on Black Ops 3, and probably will be altogether. So there's quite a few things that we are going to be able to really break down into this, and there's some quite amazing things that are being shown there, such as new weapons, new zombies, and new mechanics that are in the game. So obviously let's go ahead and break this down bit by bit and see what there is. So before even Nikolai speaks, we do know it's in Stalingrad by showing this fountain, which is the Mamali Fountain. Now we did know about this fountain slightly earlier due to the theme that did leak beforehand, and this basically does confirm that we are in Stalingrad, obviously fully by Nikolai telling us, and that we get a closer look at this fountain. Now one of the next frames that we do go and see is a bus with a zombie hanging out of it, but if you do see, it's also going to be a zombie spawn area due to the way that that door is blocked up. But there's one little joke here, which is this area that is mapped on this bus, which is called Belinsky Square. Now obviously we know that Nikolai Belinsky is the character of choice in this map, so it's just a little bit of a joke. Maybe he is sort of a hero around there, so they have named an area for him. And then we're going to see the same area that we did actually see in the little picture that Call of Duty did tweet out yesterday, which seems to be the power room. Judging by the power switch that is on the left of this screen, we could be going back to the conventional one switch power, no messing about and powering up different generators and all this sort of stuff. It's probably going to be one power switch to power up the whole map. Hopefully it is that way, since that is the easiest way to play zombies. But also there is a couple of screens in here. One seems to show a map of the area and sort of be giving you a heads up of where stuff is. Another one's like an outside look of what there is there. Obviously could just be the same as what there was on Eisendrache, where the screen's showing sort of outside area stuff but didn't actually have any interactive purpose. And then there's one thing that looks quite interesting and we'll see a bit more of shortly later in the trailer. So then after seeing the power room, we see Nikolai standing over the fountain, looking at the map, seeing what there is. Now in this shot you see a crashed plane, but you also see Nikolai holding a gun. Now this weapon looks to be sort of like the AK-12 or something along them lines. You can't exactly tell what it is due to he is covering up the majority of the weapon. But this does give us quite an overview of the map, which actually seems like it's a decent sized map, judging if you can run all the way out to the other wall. And then we just see a few action shots of the guys just shooting. There's not really much to take from this, but the next shot is the interesting one, where you see a load of shutters just closing on windows. Now whether this is a way to stop zombies coming in, and it's a sort of Bible trap, so to speak, so you stop them coming in, you're trapping them from coming in, and you're just getting them coming from different angles, so there's coming through doors or other windows maybe. This is going to be an interesting mechanic to see how it does play with the map. So once we see the shutters, we end up seeing a battle shot of the field. Now this actually includes trenches. Now obviously we use trenches in Origins. Now we already know that this map is taking a bit of stuff from Origins, such as the robots patrolling the field and that sort of stuff. So trenches also included. It's sort of a nod and a throwback to Origins, which was obviously Jason's second map in the series. But obviously the MG42, which is being shot, has not been used in Call of Duty Zombies since World at War. And the other interesting thing is it is mountable. Now whether we can actually get this out of the box and then mount it to where we want it, or whether this weapon is actually permanently in this place and you can just buy to use it and keep buying to use it. Obviously it might have a cooldown period, as most weapons do, and it has a certain amount of ammunition that you can use. We also, during this scene, get a look at a new Mech Zombie that is included. Now this zombie does look kind of tough to kill, but probably not as tough as the Panzer that we had in Der Eisendrache and obviously Origins. So as Nikolai is then telling us where he knows this city and what he knows it as, obviously Stalingrad and the City of Blood, you see a few dragons just lying down that have already been killed. Now obviously this is quite an interesting fact, that these dragons were obviously made to be controllable. They've escaped, and then one's obviously been killed, probably by the robots, I'm going to have a guess by. Now the zombies have red coloured eyes in this next shot. Now we haven't seen red coloured eyes since Mob of the Dead back on Black Ops 2. Now obviously the red eyes represent that they are controlled by Satan and not a force in the ether. Shortly after that we do see a new type of zombie, which is going to be a skeleton zombie, or slightly burnt zombie. Now this zombie is also electrocuted, so it's not the first time we've seen an electrocuted zombie. Obviously we saw it on Transit, where it was more of the Avogadro, which was a form of being but not actually a human being sort of thing. And then obviously on Der Eisendrache we had electrocuted zombies from the Panzer and the rocket launch facility. Now we see Nikolai getting a gobblegum out of the gobblegum machine. Now this isn't a new gobblegum, it is coolant, which is the standard gobblegum that we did get way back at launch, so it's nothing new, it just gives you that extra time while you are down and need reviving. And then we hear Nikolai being his typical jokey self when you see a dragon just awakening and actually starting to take off and breathe fire. He actually goes and says, "We don't need any fire here, dragon, we're not cold." Now we're going to get a better look at this new super soldier mech that actually is in this map, and it looks a little bit more overpowered now by the fact it literally just punches and it shoots like an electric ball or just like an electric shock towards you. Whether or not it does actually electrocute towards you or whether it just travels a certain distance, we'll find out obviously later in gameplay or when the map actually does come out. Then we get a view at a new sort of Parasite Round that was obviously in Shadows of Evil, which was obviously the new dog round sort of effect. So these actually fly just like parasites, but they're robots. Now these are going to fly around and sort of electrocute you by the looks of it, and that's going to be an interesting way that this map is all based around sort of electrocution methods as well. And these robot parasites seem to move around a lot similar to the actual parasites that are in Shadows of Evil. They just dart to the left and the right by rolling, where obviously the parasites in Shadows of Evil would just dart left and right. But these things obviously, because they are robots, make it a little bit different, make them barrel roll left or right, but obviously they are electrocuting you, which can be a bit of a difference and I suppose quite an annoyance to some people. So next we go and get a view of the new shield that is going to be based in this map, and it's actually made from dragon bones and I suppose guts as well maybe, but this is going to be very interesting because it is made out of dragon bones and it's probably going to be taking parts from dead dragons, which obviously we did see around the map. Now obviously this melee effect also has gas coming out which does kill the zombies. Now whether this is going to be recharged exactly the same as Shadows of Evil and at Eisendrache, where you just pick up little canisters, or maybe it's just going to be little bags of dragon guts or something like that around the map that you can collect. So then we get a look at possibly the new specialist weapon that is going to be included in this map. Now we don't know whether it is the specialist weapon or not yet, but I would have a guess it is, seeing as the action is sort of a 1-inch punch sort of thing that we had on Origins. But obviously on Black Ops 3 we have a sort of similar thing in multiplayer, which is the Ripper's sort of knife animation and lunge that has. So this seems to be using the Ripper's animations and all that will be the specialist weapon for this map. So then we get a quick glimpse of a new trap that is going to be in the map, and it's sort of similar to the Call of the Dead flogger, which obviously shot you from one side of the map to the other, which obviously did also send zombies flying away if you ran over it at the right time. So this one looks to be exactly the same, where it would fling yourself over, but possibly won't, we don't know just yet. It might just be a trap to fling the zombies away. Then we get a look at one of many new DLC weapons obviously being put into zombies. Now this is the Mech Shadow Claws. Now they are dual wield, so it's going to be very similar to the Marshall 16s in Zetsubo no Shima, but obviously these are explosive, so that's going to be pretty damn cool that we are getting an explosive crossbow in this map. So now we're going to see a new drop falling down from the sky. Now this seems to be some sort of attraction drone or something along them lines. We don't exactly know what it is, but it's got to be some sort of importance to actually have a beacon on it so we can actually see where it does land. Just like the box has the blue light, this has a green light. Now we actually saw this earlier in the trailer when we were fighting like the drones. You see a green light just right next to the blue box light, so this is what this is. You can just see above the actual drone a small little green light. This seems to be some sort of identification, but where it does land, it does electrocute the area, so that is going to be interesting to see what this actually does. So then we see Dempsey having a quick spin through the box and saying once more for old time's sake. But wait, what's that weapon? What's that one? Oh. So we seem to see a ray gun Mark III, and then we get the PPSH. The PPSH is back, so that is a cool weapon to be getting back in this map. Obviously it's a requested weapon to be having in zombies, and people are saying if we are having a Russian map, please let there be the PPSH, and they finally listened. They have put the PPSH in, so that's pretty damn cool. And then finally, to close out the trailer, we do see the 4 characters riding on the back of a dragon. Now this is pretty cool, that the fact we are going to be able to ride dragons around the map. Maybe this is sort of like the bus and the train and all that sort of stuff, where you can get from one side of the map to another and certain points, whether we're going to be able to pick the drop off point or if it just takes us to any random point. That's going to be pretty cool to see what this actually does. But obviously you see another dragon flying away, so there are multiple dragons in this map and in the sky at once. And then finally there is the dragon just breathing in the room, sort of similar and reminds me of the way the Origins cutscene did end, where the giant was just about to stomp down on you, and then obviously you did spawn into the game there and then. So hopefully guys, you are excited for Black Ops 3 Descent DLC 3 and the GOROD KROVI map for zombies. I am, and I hope you are too. If you are, please hit that like button. Also subscribe if you are new around here. There will be Black Ops 3 DLC 3 videos coming when this map does launch, and obviously coming up to the release of it, every little bit of information we do get, I will be posting videos. So thank you and goodbye.